This is Josh White with JW Math Tutoring. In today's video, I'm going to go through the repeat problems from the December 2025 Digital SAT Math exam. So let's go ahead and take a look.
But life is a dream that calculus could never predict.
Before I begin going through these December 2025 official test repeat problems, I just want to mention a couple things. First, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and sign up for notifications. Second, all of the new problems are covered in my first December 2025 video, 18 total problems. So please check out that video if you haven't done so already. Third, also check out my official test problem set playlist, which basically has all the problems that I've compiled going back to May of 2024. And there's a spreadsheet now which has all of the problems listed in it. I mean, some essentially are the full thing is typed out. Some is just real basic summaries, but there's the main topic for each problem and then a subtopic, and it's sortable and you can filter it. And it shows which problems are, like, say, repeated and when they were covered in various videos and so on. So check that out if you haven't done so already. There'll also be a link in the description of the video and in the pinned comment for the PDF file of the various repeat problems that you're seeing on the screen, in this video. So you can download that from there. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments, please do leave them in the comment section of the video below. So again, this video, I'm just going to go through and briefly mention the problems, and then you can see on the screen the various places to find where I've covered them and solved them, in past videos. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is basically it's a function question. It's got three constants in it, a and b and c, and there's like x minus something quantity squared in both of the parentheses or whatever, and they give you 2 points. It'll say, like, 1 point is 0 comma whatever, and say 5 comma whatever, and then they give you two, and then they say find p of something and p of something. And the way this works out is that basically the function is symmetric, where it's like if you plug in 0 here, you get -6 squared. So the other point, we would honestly, in this example, it would probably be like one of them would be 12, because if you plug in 12, you get +6 squared. And so the point is you get the same value. Anyways, check it out, December 2024, worksheet number 3, problem 3. Okay, next up. So let's check that one off. This is a right triangle, and you're given 2 of the sides, and they tell you that the area is equal to, like, k cosine x. Find the value of k, which is a constant. So this problem was covered both in June of 2025 and October 2025. Go check out those videos if you had this problem and want to see how to solve it. Okay, the next one was a very common problem. It was the problem about the Weddell seal, and it was saying it gives you, like, its maximum depth that it gets. Like, after so many minutes, it reaches its maximum depth of 100, however many feet, underwater, and it basically gives you other information, like maybe it starts, right at the surface of the water, and it wants to know what's the depth after some number of minutes. This is basically quadratic regression, essentially. But check out the 2 videos listed on the screen. I would personally recommend any newer ones, because the older ones might not have all of the applicable Desmos methods, but you can check out either of those videos. Also, this question is identical in wording to Blue Book Practice Test 9, Module 2, number 20. It's literally the exact same problem. All right, next up. Very common question type. You're given a quadratic equation. It has a constant in it. In this case, the constant is q. The variables are r. And it wants to know, what's here in this case, what's the maximum possible value of q when it has no solution. All right. There's also variations of this where it could say, like, what's the maximum or minimum value when it has 2 real solutions, or what is the value when there is exactly 1 real solution. Like, you solve them all the same way. Again, for this one, Even though I've covered it 4 times, watch the videos to the newer ones because these will have the newest methods in my ultimate Desmos, from my ultimate Desmos guide about using, like, say, the derivative method to solve these, not just using the discriminant. Lastly, at the bottom of the first page, there's some people reported getting a question with two similar rectangular prisms, and they give you like the surface area of one, and they give you the surface area of the other, and they also typically give you the volume of one, and then they might ask what is the total combined volume, or they could also technically ask what's the difference in the volume as well. If you want to see how to do problems similar to these, check out the 2 videos listed on the screen. All right, moving on to the next page at the top here. So this problem is the one where you have an isosceles right triangle. You're told the perimeter is like some number plus some number root 2. And it could ask you for the leg of the triangle. It could ask you for the hypotenuse of the triangle. Either way, check out these 2 videos. Again, I would recommend the newer one because I don't know if on the older one if I solved it using regression, which you can do. It is actually the quickest, easiest way to do it. Next up, there's a question about standard deviation where it gives you, in the answer choices, it gives you a bunch of frequency tables. And then it says, like, maybe, which of these has the lowest standard deviation. Or it could also technically ask which one has the highest standard deviation. So if you had that question, if you want to see how to solve it, check out, August 2025, worksheet 2, problem number 2. Next, there is a question where you have a polynomial, a 4th degree polynomial, and it's like, I'm just making these numbers up. It's like 6x to the 4th plus, I don't know, 29x squared plus 37 or something like this. Okay? And it tells you that one of the factors is ax squared plus b. What's a possible value of ab? And there's technically 2 different answers for it because you can factor it, but you don't, it's not specified which parenthesis is actually, the AB parenthesis versus another one. But if you want to see how to solve this problem, check out, again, August 2025, worksheet 4, problem number 2. Okay, there was a question next that dealt with 2 different chemical solutions that both started with the same mass. And then like they each increased but by different percentages, and it wanted to know like how much greater one of them was versus the other. So this problem is basically identical to the predator and prey question. All of these months and worksheets and so on listed here are for just for the predator and prey question, which is the exact same thing. There were the same number of predators and prey in a habitat, and one increased by 2100%, the other increased by like 350%. Now that question, every time that that's been reported, asked for how much like more than or how much less than one of the value, greater than or less than in terms of percentage, one was to the other. This one, it appears, it asked for how much, not just greater than, not the percentage greater than, but the actual greater than, meaning like multiplied by what number, factor, a factor of what. So just be aware, the last step technically might be different in terms of how you solve it, but the actual initial setup, the initial steps are all the same. Okay, the next one, another common, very common one. The right triangle, where you're given the length of one side, you're told another side is like so many more than that side, or could be so many less than that side. Then you draw an altitude to the right triangle, to the hypotenuse of the right triangle, and it says, what's the ratio of BC to BD? BC is basically one of the sides of the triangle, BD is the altitude. Okay, so this one was covered previously. This is also, by the way, this is an exact question from one of the PSAT Blue Book exams. Can't remember which one it is, but I don't have videos right now for the PSAT exams. That's why I don't have it listed here because I don't have a video to watch. But, of course, you can check out November or December 2024 or March 2025 to see how to work out this problem if you had it. All right, there was another triangle question, not a right triangle question, but just a general isosceles triangle. We had two sides were equal. You're basically told then what the base of the triangle is, and you're told that the tan of one of these angles is whatever fraction. What's the area of the triangle? Okay, if you had this, check out August 2025, worksheet number 4, problem number 4. Okay, then on the last page, we had a basic formula question that was like something similar to this one that you see on the screen here. I did solve a problem again very similar to this in May of 2025 on worksheet number 2, problem 5. There's a question about number of people attending like the first webinar in a series, and then some percentage of that attended the second, and then some percentage of those attended the third, or some percentage didn't attend the first but did attend the third, or so on and so forth. And it's like a percentage, type problem. If you want to see a problem, basically identically to that worked out, check out August 2024, worksheet 3, problem 8. Next, there's the problem where they give you a function and there's an absolute value of x in it over an a, and the key here is that a is less than 0. And 1 second here. Sorry, I was just checking the actual problem itself just to make sure that this setup and everything was correct. But yes, in general it is. So if you had this problem, you want to know how to solve it, check out March 2025, worksheet number 2, problem 3. Next, there was a question where it talked about two intersecting lines, and it says one of the angles, and sometimes it specifies like the acute or the obtuse is some expression, like 9x minus 250 or something like that. And then it says, then it gives you a bunch of answer choices, and it says, which of the following answer choices cannot be a sum of any two angles in the diagram, or any pair of angles, meaning you can add up like this one and this one, or this one and this one, or this one and this one, so on. You know what I mean? Anyways, if you had that question, if you want to know how to solve it, check out May 2025, worksheet 2, problem 7. There's also reported to be a question about a cone where you're given the volume and surface area of a cone, and you're trying to figure out the slant height. So if you want to know how to do that or see a problem like that worked out, check out June 2024, worksheet number 1, problem 17. And lastly, for the very last question on here, I have two different examples that I saw reported. Basically, this is the type of word problem where it's like it costs some amount of money for the first so many, whatever it is, hours of work, or like sessions of something, or books, or whatever. And then after that, each hour costs this much, whatever, or each session costs this much. It's basically it's a linear function, and you're told to find the equation that represents a situation for x is greater than whatever the number is, like maybe x is greater than 2 or x is greater than 3 or whatever. In any case, if you want to know how to solve this, you want to see this worked out, check out June 2024, worksheet 1, problem 18, or May 2025, worksheet number 2, problem number 8. All right, so again, this is just a real brief summary of the repeat questions that have come up previously, that I have solved previously in previous official test videos. So just to mention a couple things, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and sign up for notifications. Also, check out the December 2025 official test problems, new problems, worksheet number 1, essentially, if you haven't done so already. If you have any questions or comments or alternate solution methods, obviously you probably don't have those because I didn't actually work any of these out, but any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below. Again, there'll be a PDF link in both the description of the video and also in the pinned comment for the video. Another thing, make sure you check out the spreadsheet, which has all of my official test problems, listed in it. We're up to over 380, I think it's 388 total problems now for the new problems. And lastly, if you are looking to improve your knowledge of Desmos, please check out my Ultimate Desmos Guide to Digital SAT Math. It's over 6 hours of tips and tricks and instruction and 65 practice problems to help you ace the digital SAT math section.